We need to talk. It's not all bad. There's a lot of good too. But we need to talk. Maybe we shouldn't do this here. Why don't we go for a ride?
Boxes are defeating, purpose always fleeting. I pose questions to the ceiling like an answer gonna come. Truth is too revealing, life is easier concealing. All emotions to the start on your heart going numb. I should be in drive.
Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny, and today we're going to discuss the pros and cons of the Tesla Model 3. So as you guys know, I love this car. I really can't say enough positive about it. But no car is perfect. I mean, you know, maybe the LaFerrari or the Pagani or the Koenigsegg. Okay, there's a few perfect cars out there, but there's not many perfect cars out there. Most cars have their flaws, and this one is no different. So today, we're going to go over some of my favorite features of this car and some not so favorite. So why don't we start off with the top 5 things I love about this car. First, let's talk about how spacious the car is. Every passenger has plenty of room, including the infamous center seat in the back. There's not a hump because there's no drivetrain. You could easily fit 3 grown adults in the back seat. And then there's the storage. You've got pockets in every door. You've got a glove box that's pretty sizable. You've got a frunk, you've got a trunk, you've got the center section here that has some very deep pockets. If you can't find enough storage for your regular trip or an extended road trip really in this car, you're doing something wrong. Next up on the list is safety and technology. And that one's kind of obvious, really. I mean, Tesla operates like a tech company. But the technology found in this car cannot be understated. The fact that the car drives itself, the fact that you can summon the car in a rainstorm, which we haven't shown yet, but yes, you can. You can quite literally say it's raining and you're in a parking lot. You can push a button in the app and the car will come to you. Those, while cool, dare I say they're gimmicky. The reality is, I'm not sure Tesla's self-driving is the #1 self-driving technology on the market. I think there's a couple of cars out there that have actually come up and surpassed them in that capability. But what Tesla has and the package they put together can't be understated. It's got built-in security with cameras that are constantly monitoring your car. It has the ability to sense whether you have a pet in the car and keep the climates cool while you run into the store and project to the people who are walking by that your pet is safe. It's got tons of sensors and tons of cameras surrounding the car, and the car will avoid an accident like no other car I've ever heard. The car will actually veer out of the way. I have a friend that owns a Tesla, and very recently, the car in front of them slammed on their brakes, and another car came out in front. Normally, it would be on you. Normally, you'd have to hit the brakes and veer the car to the left or to the right to avoid this accident. But in this situation, the Tesla made a very loud noise and quite literally took control of the car, moving the car out of the way of this accident. If it wasn't for the technology on board, my friend's car would be totaled. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, technology and safety, again, cannot be understated, and this car has ample. Next on the list is going to be the convenience of charging at home. I know. I'm not going to be one of those Tesla fanboys and start writing everybody that still has a combustion engine out there about going to the gas station to fill up. I still love those cars like anybody else. But the convenience of going to bed at night and having your car fill up in the garage is pretty amazing. Now I know, Tesla's not the only EV on the market that has the privilege of charging at home. But you can actually purchase something called a Tesla wall charger. Essentially, it's like bringing the supercharger experience home. No, the times are not as fast as a supercharger, but the experience is the same. A licensed electrician will come out and install this charger on your wall. It's a 240 watt charger, and it can charge your car in about 6 hours from 0 to 80%. And I know that doesn't sound fast, but the reality is if I were to charge this car in a typical home outlet, it would take all day. Next on the list is just how planted this car feels. I know I said it in the driving review, but this car, because of its weight, just feels glued to the ground. Now, I've taken this car in rain. I've also taken it out in snow. And I'm telling you, there's nothing like the feeling of the weight of this car and its all-wheel drive system out there. You just feel glued to the ground. No, that's not a Tesla exclusive. There's many all-wheel drive cars out, and ones that truly have some great handling and great performance in any weather. But this isn't supposed to be that car. This isn't an exotic sports car or an SUV or an off-road utility vehicle. This is supposed to be a family sedan. And to have it hug corners the way it does, to have it perform the way it does in less than ideal conditions, you can't beat it. And that's why it's making this list. The next one, it's got to be price for performance. You know, I watched Doug DeMuro, and he said that Tesla democratized acceleration. They sure did. The reality is they brought acceleration that was exclusive for your super high-end cars down to a level that most people can't attain. Sure, you don't have to get the performance model. You can get the base model or dual motor Tesla and still have incredible performance numbers. And that's a car that is available for the masses. You're not talking $100,000, $150,000, or $200,000 for these vehicles. Tesla brought that down so that everyone can experience it. And it's revolutionary. Other manufacturers are going to have to step up and address what Tesla has done. You can't beat it. And the performance isn't just about the 0 to 60. The braking times on this car, its acceleration while driving at freeway speeds, trying to get around other vehicles, is like nothing else. You can't get anything else on the market that has this level of performance, this level of tech, this level of anything at this price point. Tesla truly hit the nail on the head with that one. Lastly, guys, you probably guessed it by now. It's this car's pure acceleration. I once described the acceleration in this car as though it was like sitting in a spaceship because I didn't have the words for it. But the reality is it's that same acceleration you get at a theme park sitting in a roller coaster right before it launches. That's what this feels like. It's just this suck you into your seat amount of acceleration that you can't help but smile about. It is truly incredible. You know, but it goes beyond the 0 to 60. I mentioned it in the previous price for performance. But the reality is when you're on the freeway and going 50 miles an hour, you need to get around a car. Pushing the accelerator and still feeling that immense torque and the car take off. No other car can do that. I almost don't have words to describe how wonderful a feeling it is. And if you guys have never been in a Tesla and you know somebody who has one, call them, sit in it, and have them push the accelerator. I promise you, every doubt you ever had about this vehicle will be gone pretty quick. And guys, now that part that all you Tesla fanboys out there probably want to stop watching this video and all you Tesla haters are about to start taking notes, we're going to go into the bad. Now, while I'm going to have several things here that are bad about this car, keep in mind, this is a great car. And probably the car I would recommend to just about anybody. This is the best car on sale today, at least at your normal price range. For all of you who are about to go and buy a LaFerrari, call me. I'll be right over. So first on this list is about the buying experience itself. Buying your car online is unheard of. You buy this car like you would buy a bag of dog food on Amazon. You simply click a few options and your car is on its way. Although there is something lacking there. Even if you're buying the base model, you're online and about to spend $30,000 or $35,000 on a car, or up to $60,000 if you're buying the performance. And there's a lack of service. There isn't a lot of communication afterwards, and regardless of what happens, you're kind of in the dark until you receive a text message saying that your car is on its way. I ordered my car October 4th. I received my car December 27th, which is fine. We've all heard about Tesla time. We know that Tesla operates to the beat of its own drum when it comes to delivery schedules. However, Tesla told me 2 weeks when I ordered my car, both in the delivery center when I took a look at the models and online when I purchased. And there was never any communication as to why the car was so delayed. Now, I had a great representative at my local delivery center, and I somewhat became friends with her. So she emailed me weekly to check in and make sure I was okay. But as far as where my car was in the process or when it was arriving, she had no more information than I did. And when you're spending this type of money, there's a certain level of expectation, a certain level of service that we all deserve. And I think that's a big miss. Maybe that's not exclusive to this car. Maybe it's exclusive to all Teslas. But it definitely deserves a place on this list. Next on that list is this car's minimalistic design. I love it. I've said that before. But there's certain things that, just didn't need to be re-engineered. But Tesla did anyway. There are no buttons in this car, with the exception of two, and we'll talk about those in a minute. If you're sitting in the rear seat of this car and wanted to turn on your heat seater, you can't. Someone in the front seat, whether the driver or passenger, actually have to go into the infotainment center to simply turn on the heated seats in the rear. If you want to get into your glove box, there's no button on the front to do so. You actually have to go through a menu screen and find the glove box button, click it, to get into your glove box. Now, I get it. This car is designed to be minimalistic, and it's great. It's sleek. There's not a lot of visual distractions. I love it. But certain things, they just need a simple button. Simple solution for a simple problem. Put a button on the glove box and let me access it whenever I want. Put a couple of buttons in the back so that people back there can operate the things that are important to them during their drive. Didn't need to be this complicated. Next on the list, as I said, I'm just going to come back to those two buttons. The only two buttons in this car are these two little wheels right here on the steering wheel. Now, every steering wheel has buttons, but these two are little scrolling wheels, which seem genius when you're setting your car up. These two little scroll wheels here, they help you adjust your left and right mirror, and they help you adjust your steering wheel's position. And while you're driving, they manage the volume for the radio or for phone. They'll increase or decrease your speed when you're doing cruise control, and they're programmable, which means you can customize these to control just about anything you want. So what's the problem, Danny? Why are they on your bad list? Well, conveniently, we're turning. And as you can see, where your hand is placed on the wheel when you're turning, I don't know if that came across on audio, but my hand actually hit that scroll wheel. And it moved. It's a wheel. Where it's placed, every time you turn the vehicle, your hand will brush it. Because it's a wheel, it will go up or down. This one is your volume control. Now again, if you adjust it or customize this wheel, no problems. But if you maintain volume, which I would assume most people would, you're going to increase the volume quite a bit at inappropriate times, and you're going to decrease the volume quite a bit. Which means you could be in the middle of a phone call and all of a sudden wonder why that jerk on the other line just hung up on you, when really all you did was drop the volume after that turn. Next on the list is something I feel every car buyer should experience, and that is speccing a car. I actually think everybody should do this at least once, and I would recommend go down to your dealership and take a look at how this experience unfolds. Now, I'm going to paint a little picture here for you so you have it in your mind. But imagine going to your dealership, being greeted at the door, and them taking you into a private room in the back and offering you your favorite beverage. Are you sitting there with a glass of champagne like me in your hand? A good choice. While you're in there, there's every color of the car possible. There's every color of stitching for the seats and dash. There's every color of leather and cloth and material for the inside of your car. You basically get to pick every last detail of your car. So when you get this car, it's every bit yours, and you don't have to worry about aftermarket things to spruce it up or make it yours. And ordering your Tesla is kind of like speccing it. Except not at all. You go online to order your car, and you've got all of 5 colors to choose from. Ooh, and then you get to pick your interior, and you get to pick from 2 colors. And that's it. The only other option you have is whether you want to spend the $7,000 and get the full self-driving or not. So you go online to order your car, and it's fairly limited on what you actually can order. So what ends up happening is everybody pretty much just orders the same. And next on the list is the lack of distinction between the models. So when you order a Model 3, you have 3 different variants. You have your base model, you have your dual motor, and you have your performance. So then you have to go to the badging to figure out what car you're actually looking at. Now the base model, no badge. It solely has the Tesla logo on the back. The dual motor, well, they got really creative, and it says dual motor on the back. And the performance, well, they got even more creative. It says dual motor with a little red line underneath it. And that's it. Every other manufacturer out there, as you work up the trim levels in their particular model line, you start to see distinguishing features or variations on the actual car itself, whether the fenders are a little bit more flared out, the car is a little bit lower and there's a front end splitter or a rear diffuser, it's got a large wing. Something on it distinguishes that car from the base trim level. It doesn't take a casual observer in most cases to see these different variants. Yet in this Model 3, unless you're a big Tesla fan, you've got no idea what you're looking at. And if you caught the base model Tesla next to me and you had those kind of eyes to know it was a base model, good for you.
Why don't we finish this inside? The next one is something that's pretty near and dear to my heart. And I say that because I use it every day. And that's the missing features or missing technology on a pretty technologically special car. Now I can walk onto any Kia dealership, and more likely than not, I can find a $25,000 car that has a wireless phone charger and a HomeLink system. You know that thing that replaces all those remote controls you have in your car, the ones that open your gate or your garage? And yet a $60,000 Tesla, loaded with all the tech you could possibly imagine, is missing that. How hard would it have been to integrate a wireless charger into a car that's loaded with batteries? Or put a HomeLink system? Now you can actually order a HomeLink system through Tesla's website. That is, if it's in stock. It's often out of stock, and when you do order it, it takes several weeks for it to come in, and then you actually have to make a service appointment to get it installed. So good luck getting it anytime soon. As far as the wireless charger, there's many brands out there that you can replace it with, or you can buy Teslas for twice the price. Why these features weren't originally included in the car make no sense. At this price point, those are some pretty basic features to not have. And the last one on this list, guys, is you. All of you Tesla haters and Tesla fanboys. See, the reality is neither one of you is getting out of your own way and seeing the bigger picture. Now, all you Tesla haters, we need these electric cars. We need Teslas on the market. Otherwise, we're going to lose the privilege of our combustion engines. We're going to lose the privilege of driving those fantastic vehicles around because the regulators are going to come in and force our hand. These EVs are allowing us to continue with those cars we love. Without them, we're in a lot of trouble. And all you Tesla fanboys, owning a Tesla or not owning a Tesla, enjoying cars that rumble, that make noise, that have fire spewing out the back end, it's not some IQ test. Doesn't mean you're an idiot because you love that type of car. And the more you treat all those people that way, the more you lose your argument before you start. You want to win the argument? You want to show all these Tesla haters what they're missing? The next time you see one, offer them a ride. That'll show them pretty quick. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash that thumbs up button. If you're not already subscribed, click the subscribe button below and that little bell icon next to it so you can be notified the next time I upload a video. I'll see you guys in the next one.